Coming up on Sportsource, I will speak with Sam Minish, a Madison County High School senior, and we will talk about her journey to becoming a Clemson University softball commit.
And Jefferson's offensive lineman Brian Center moves his recommitment back to Troy after the hire of Jared Parker, Notre Dame's offensive coordinator.
Plus, I'll have more on three-sport athlete Ren Drudge, who never thought she'd be a D1 commit after being born with a birth defect. Sportsource starts now.
Welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Olivia Bontempo. We begin our coverage with an interview from a Madison County High School softball player who's rocketing her talents to the coveted world of Division I play. Sportsource Seth Manish joins us now with more. Seth?
Olivia, Sam Minish is the number 2 outfielder in the country and the number 7 overall recruit. She's committed to Clemson, but as Sam tells us, her story with Clemson actually started at a very young age. So tell me about it. You were 12 years old at a camp. Tell me how you knew that that's where you were going to go.
So I was too young to be at the camp, to participate in the camp. I was 12 years old. My sister was actually participating, and me and my dad brought our gloves, and we stood on like this big grassy area, and I was like, hey Dad, like, let's throw. So me and my dad started throwing, and I like looked around, like the campus is like all around the field, and I was like, this place is like amazing, like, and from that point on, I just really decided that like that was like my dream school to go to.
And funny enough, where you were throwing actually ended up being the softball stadium that
It
you're going
did.
to play in.
Yeah.
So walk me through your recruiting process. What was it that made you say, hey, Clemson is where I want to go?
So the process is like reaching out to the coaches, and the coaches that come and show up, like you really get to see who shows up.
Mm-hmm.
So I would reach out and they would come and actually show up to watch. And so whenever they would show up, I would like realize they like actually were interested in me. And so then I started like going to more camps when I was old enough, and I realized that like it was the place where I wanted to go.
All right, now what makes Clemson home for you? Why is this going to be your future home?
So me and the coaches gel very well together.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls there, my age and older, we get along very well. So on my official, we went in and I met all the girls and like the team and stuff, and we all just get along really well. So I'm excited for that. And it's just like everyone there feels like family already.
All right, awesome. All right, well, thank you. This is Sam Minish, and you can follow her along at Clemson next year. Sam is coming off a successful 2023 season with her travel team. She batted .400 and had an on-base percentage of .456. She'll join the Clemson Tigers softball program this summer. Back to you, Olivia.
Thanks, Seth. The journeys of young athletes are always inspiring to hear.
This is Tori Newman. Up next on Sportsource, I sit down with Keeping Christian head coach Derek Mason and star senior Blake Wilson to discuss this week's game of the week.
And still ahead, Jefferson County offensive lineman remains committed after some decommitment drama. The story is later on Sportsource. Don't go away. We're back right after this short break. Welcome back to Sportsource. Sportsource analysts Tori Newman and Lucas Kochevar join us in the studio. Tonight, the Lions face the Purple Hurricanes at 7:30 p.m. Hebron Christian rides a hot streak after defeating Monroe area 67-63 on January 16th. What can we expect from this exciting matchup? Tori, Lucas?
Olivia, fans can get ready for a heated matchup tonight. Ranked number 1 in 3A Region 8, Hebron Christian is set to host rival Monroe area, and it's also their senior night. Remember their last face-off on January 16th? Since then, the Lions have been on a roll, going 5-1 and building an impressive 18-2 overall record, while remaining undefeated in conference play. A key player driving this winning streak is senior Blake Wilson. The dominant forward continues to rack up double-doubles, averaging an impressive 20 points and 10.5 rebounds per game. Just 2 weeks ago, he delivered a phenomenal performance, scoring a season high of 38 points, even catching the attention of Sports Illustrated for Georgia's High School Basketball Player of the Week.
Monroe area faces a tough challenge tonight against Wilson and the Lions offense. Can they rise to the occasion and secure the victory? With a strong Hebron Christian team looming, tonight's game is crucial. Let's analyze Monroe area's chances. Lucas?
Christian, but Coach Strickland says that loss spurred a 5-game winning streak. Now hungry for revenge, the Purple Hurricanes head into a pivotal regional matchup brimming with confidence.
It was a wake-up call for sure. I'm not sure the kids went in with a great mindset as far as thinking they could lose. And, you know, in the long run, hopefully it pays off for us because you learn more from your failures than you do your successes.
What do you think, Olivia?
Despite the 2 losses, the Purple Hurricanes have roared back, claiming victory in every game since their January 16th defeat. Undeterred by adversity, they've spun their losses into fuel, driving an undefeated streak through regional play. Though the Lions boast regional dominance, 2 defeats mark their season. Tori, it seems as if they remain undaunted after the losses and ready to challenge for supremacy.
Hebron Christian's Coach Mason says a valuable lesson was learned after a tight win and a tough loss. The close Monroe area victory, followed by the St. Andrews defeat, instilled much-needed discipline, Mason shared, as they gear up for the playoffs. Listen in to Coach Mason and Blake's insights.
This amount of adversity that we've been able to persevere through since that time. He's our last line of defense on the defensive side, which we're having to depend on him a lot because we didn't do a good job of stopping dribble penetration. So we've addressed that issue, looking forward to doing a better job of that. And also getting the ball inside more, playing more of an inside-out game.
I dropped a lot of passes that I usually would catch, so probably just be more focused is probably what it was. Just never underestimate any opponents. Just be always ready to go. Just think my overall game has just gotten better confidence, just really everything.
How have the Purple Hurricanes used their time since the last matchup?
Area's recent loss to Hebron was marred by the absence of their star point guard, Vontae Newell, who fouled out in the crucial closing minutes. Coach Strickland has acknowledged Newell's importance, calling him the head of the snake for their offense. However, the Hurricanes haven't been sitting idle. Practices have focused on the simulating lineups without Newell, preparing for scenarios where he might be sidelined again. The team understands that their success hinges on more than just one player. Newell himself is nearing a major milestone, 1,000 career points. This game could be the one where he reaches that mark, but his primary focus will be getting his teammates involved. Key contributors to watch include athletic big man Tripp Griffith and the sharpshooting Javen Todd.
Hebron's team is strong because they play unselfishly. In 19 games, they've dominated their opponents in both rebounding and assists. Wilson gets over half the rebounds, and Glover, the veteran point guard, gets 35% of assists. Glover also recently scored his 1,000th career point. With Glover leading the way and Wilson controlling the paint, Hebron's offense is moving the ball well and is ready to challenge Monroe area again.
The Monroe area Purple Hurricanes eye an offensive surge fueled by their 48% on offensive rebounds. However, the defensive-minded squad knows they must contain Hebron Christian's key players and minimize turnovers. If they execute on both ends, they can avenge their previous loss and extend their winning streak. Buckle up for a battle.
In their last encounter, the Purple Hurricanes stifled Wilson to 17 points. To defeat Monroe area and win by a wider margin, the Lions need Wilson on fire, dominating the boards and leading Hebron's offense in the paint. This team fears no rematch. Wilson learned that from past stumbles, staying focused despite their winning streak. Olivia, I predict Hebron Christian prevails, maintaining their undefeated conference run.
All right, Tori, Lucas, that was some fantastic insight into tonight's matchup between the Hebron Lions and the Monroe area Purple Hurricanes. It's clear both teams are coming in hot tonight with something to prove. We'll see who comes out on top later. Thanks, guys. Coming up on Sportsource, 2 inspiring stories of athletes whose dedication goes beyond the game. After the break, the story of an offensive lineman's steadfast commitment amidst coaching changes as he prepares for his college football dreams. And later, a young swimmer defies odds and overcomes disability with unwavering passion. Witness her remarkable journey to excellence. Sportsource returns after this short break. Welcome back to Sportsource. Jefferson High School senior offensive lineman Brian Center is poised to take the field at Troy University in the fall. But as Sportsource Sarah Sims uncovers, he faced significant uncertainties that threatened his dreams. Sarah?
You got that right, Olivia.
At Jefferson High School, center is making the most of his days, hanging around with his friends, coaches, and family before he takes on the new battlefield at Troy University. The weight room, the new coaching staff, and the independence are just a few things that this senior is looking forward to. Jefferson senior offensive lineman Brian Center finalizes his decision to commit to Troy University. Although bittersweet as he prepares to leave high school behind, he is ready to charge onto a fresh battlefield.
They gave me a tour of the facility and stuff, and just right then I fell in love with Troy.
Those who know Brian off the field might describe him as a shy and soft-spoken guy. But beneath that gentle exterior lies one of those rarities, an aggressive player.
He's one of those unique guys that has that switch that flips when he puts the helmet on.
Yet, even Warriors face these trials. When coaching changes shook the foundation of Troy, Brian found himself at a crossroad. Center's commitment to the university was shook up by the coaching changes and growing anxiety about the future. The conflicting emotions were difficult to navigate throughout this time.
One small detail, that could be the change between two different paths, but I feel like that I chose the good one, the correct one.
He even tested new waters with Georgia Southern and Georgia State. But after meeting with Troy's new coaching staff, they silenced all of his doubts.
The new coaching staff, me personally, I like them better. I think it's a better fit for me.
Brian's head coach Travis Nolan played a big part throughout this confusing time. Brian leaned on his coaches, friends, and especially his parents to get him to this stable space. Secure in the next step, Center now channels his focus onto the remainder of the high school journey, the final leg of his senior year.
I want to show them that I can do stuff on my own and just be the person that I need to be.
Center currently throws shot put with the Jefferson track and field team for the third year in a row to close out his senior year. As a valued member of the Jefferson High School football team, he leaves behind a legacy of dedication and exceptional performance.
We have a sign going out onto our field that says "Leave a Legacy," and I think Brian Center definitely did that here.
Even leaves advice to the younger class.
Same thing you did on play one, on the last play of the game. You got to give it your all. I feel like I've done that for this school.
Now Center sets his eyes on a fresh new start and a new challenge in Troy, Alabama. Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Sarah Sims. This All-Region 8A superstar is focusing on his final season of track and field with the Dragons before he is a full-time offensive lineman with the Troy Trojans. Back to you, Olivia.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm joined now by our Sportsource basketball analysts Hank Tatum and Lindsey Bornhorst to dissect the Bulldogs' tournament chances.
The Bulldogs haven't danced in the NCAA tournament since 2015. Can this year's squad break the drought?
We'll take a look after the break. Don't go away. Will this year be the year that the UGA men's basketball team finally silences their almost 10-year-long drought? I'm now joined by Sportsource analysts Hank Tatum and Lindsey Bornhorst, who are going to break this down for us. Hank, what can you tell us about that 2015 team?
Well, the 2014-2015 season feels like ancient history for Georgia basketball fans, as their team hasn't been back to the NCAA tournament since then, the longest such drought in the SEC. The Bulldogs, under head coach Mark Fox, finished the season with a strong 21-12 record, including an 11-7 mark in the SEC, good for a four-way tie for third place in the conference. They also made a deep run in the SEC tournament, reaching the semifinals before falling to Arkansas. Their ascent to the SEC Summit, punctuated by thrilling victories, couldn't be ignored, and the NCAA Tournament Committee awarded them an at-large bid. Georgia boasted 4 players with double-digit scoring averages, led by Marcus Thornton's well-rounded 12.3 points and 7.3 rebounds per game. 2 statistics tell the story of the Bulldogs' offensive edge that year. They drew fouls at a high rate, attempting 25 free throws per game, which was 11th most in the country, and they converted those opportunities efficiently, with 17.3 makes per game, also 11th most. A familiar thread weaves through both the 2014-2015 squad and this year's team. Former players Charles Mann and Kenny Gaines, now members of the coaching staff. Bridging the generations, Charles Mann and Kenny Gaines, once teammates on the court, now share their experience and expertise from their playing days as a part of this year's staff. Here's what Gaines noticed about the similarities between these two teams.
The similarity between this group and our group is just that they love to play basketball with each other. They off the court, they're always hanging out with each other and doing things outside of sports. So to see the camaraderie on and off the court is, I would say, that's the biggest similarity.
Hank brings up a really good point. Lindsey, what specific challenges could keep this team from ending the drought this season?
Well, Olivia, forget the stats and the strategies. The 2024 Georgia Bulldogs have found their ultimate source of strength, their fans. A surge in student support has transformed Stegman Coliseum into a cauldron of energy, with a staggering 3,208 dogs turning out for the last SEC home game against Alabama. This seismic shift hasn't gone unnoticed, with UGA Assistant Athletic Director himself tweeting about the electrifying atmosphere. But what did the students themselves think? Let's get into the mind of a true blue Bulldog and hear how this fan revolution is impacting the team.
Honestly, there seems to be a lot more energy in the room in Stegman in general, and as you can see, there's a whole long line behind us. People just like clamoring to get in. I just feel like we're better this year, and so everyone wants to come out and support.
After this Wednesday's home loss against Alabama, the Bulldogs sit at number 8 in the SEC with an overall record of 14-7, going 4-4 so far in the SEC. Senior Jabri Abdur-Rahim reigns supreme on the court, leading the Bulldogs with 13.1 points per game and an impressive 4.4 free throws made per game. Noah Thomason and RJ Melendez join him in the double-digit scoring club, with point guard Silas DeMary Jr. nearly there at 9.9 points per game. A seasoned leader with a championship pedigree, Mike White took Georgia by storm in his first year. He delivered a 10-win spike, the second largest in the Power 5, reaffirming his prowess honed through 9 NCAA tournament appearances at Florida and Louisiana Tech. White's impact was immediate, with a 10-game win streak showcasing Georgia's newfound identity under his guidance.
Lindsay, Hank, now that we've broken down this 23-24 team, what's their roadmap looking like to the big dance, the March Madness tournament?
Well, Olivia, the Bulldogs' path to March Madness is littered with hurdles. That 2015 NCAA tournament team boasted a KenPom ranking of 35, whereas this year's current squad finds itself at 71 currently. With only one Quad 1 victory to its name, Georgia needs an injection of quality wins. Thankfully, their schedule offers opportunities. Stealing road victories against Mississippi State and one of their battles with Auburn, coupled with a home triumph over Florida, would be a significant boost. Securing at least one win in the SEC tournament is also crucial. While I fear the bubble might burst on their NCAA tournament hopes, this Bulldogs team has proven its mettle against powerhouses like Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama, each having been narrow losses. They possess the talent to compete, but ultimately their destiny hinges on navigating a treacherous closing stretch.
The 2024 Bulldogs might just be this year's Cinderella story, echoing the magic of 2015's team. Fueled by Coach White's leadership and Wednesday's sting, these hungry dogs smell a postseason appearance. Packed Stegman Coliseum crowds could be the secret weapon Georgia needs to rack up late season wins and finally snap that pesky drought. Personally, I'm ready to unleash the dog dynasty once more. But first, there's tomorrow's pivotal SEC showdown against South Carolina. Tip-off is at 1 p.m., and after their narrow road win earlier this season, the Bulldogs are primed to defend their home court. That's all for now, Olivia. Over to you.
Coming up on Sportsource, this diver's story will show you anything is possible. And later, buckle up, conspiracy theorists and football fanatics. We're about to take a flying pigskin through the rumor mill and see if the NFL is truly rigged. We share your thoughts later on the program. Don't go away. Welcome back to Sportsource. Defying gravity and expectations, a North Oconee High School diver is preparing to make a splash at the University of Alabama. Sportsource Elizabeth Hunter has more on this inspiring story. Elizabeth?
Yes, Olivia. Rin Drudge knew at a young age that she loved to flip, but with an impairment in her left leg making it difficult to compete in gymnastics, she turned to diving to satisfy her passion. And now the sport is taking her farther than she ever thought possible. This North Oconee student is not just any normal high school athlete, but you wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at her.
I kind of made it to where you can't really tell, like if you saw me diving or playing basketball, you wouldn't really understand or you wouldn't notice that I have the condition that I have.
Rin Drudge was born with a condition known as post-axial hypoplasia. It means her lower legs didn't develop fully. In her case, her left leg had no ACL, a missing toe, and was about 3 inches shorter than her right leg.
The hardest thing was just like the questions and then going through all the pain. I went through a lot of pain at a young age, and then the questions people would ask me because I wore lift on the bottom of my shoe, it would kind of make me uncomfortable because kids wouldn't really understand it.
The lift on Drudge's shoe was meant to give her impaired leg the support to keep up with her healthy leg. She had to have 5 surgeries on her good leg to stop the growth so the bad leg could catch up. And then she had to have another unexpected surgery.
Because my deformed leg doesn't have an ACL, my knee kind of shifted, causing something called knock knee, so I also had a surgery on that to fix that. And so 1 year I had a double knee surgery.
As of right now, Drudge says that there are no more surgeries in her future. But what is in her future is a scholarship to the University of Alabama's swim and dive team.
My mom went to Alabama, so I was always interested in Alabama. We toured it with my brother, my older brother, because he was kind of thinking about it, and I just loved it first time I went there. And then I reached out to the coach, and luckily he answered back.
Drudge plays 3 sports: basketball, flag football, and diving. But her love for diving began with a Facebook ad.
I wasn't really supposed to run and like pounding on floor, so gymnastics was always out of it, but I loved to flip and do all that. So my mom saw an ad on Facebook for the Georgia Diving Club, and then I tried it out, and it doesn't hurt me. Since it's springboard, it's not bad on my legs, and I've just stuck with it for the past 8 years.
North Oconee's assistant swim and dive coach Nicole O'Mara says that she knows Drudge's condition is there, but it has never let it stop her.
She's got a lot of talent, and I think it's going to be good for her to move on and go in a bigger situation and see what she can do and challenge herself.
Drudge said she feels so relieved to have had her hard work pay off. And after all the obstacles she's had to face, you can bet her leg won't get in her way.
I've just overcome it by just working hard, just going to practice every day. Even if it hurts, I'll just go home and ice it and then get back up and go to practice the next day.
For the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, Elizabeth Hunter. Drudge will dive right into her future in August when she reports to Alabama. Her goal for her freshman season is to represent her new team at the SEC and NCAA championship.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Imagine having a winless season and just 3 years later turning that around to leading your division. I'm joined now by Sportsource analyst Avi Young and Evan Smoke with the incredible story of the Athens Christian girls basketball program turnaround.
Athens Christian is defying expectations and igniting school spirit.
But what makes them so special? Find out after the break when we take you inside their journey.
Welcome back to Sportsource. After seasons of hardship, the Athens Christian Lady Eagles are soaring under coach Jeff Vaughn's guidance. Sportsource analyst Evan Smoke and Avi Young join me now as we explore the factors behind their remarkable turnaround. Evan, tell me more about the formula to this team's success.
Yeah, Olivia, the Athens Christian Lady Eagles are in the midst of a remarkable turnaround, rewriting their record books with a stunning 17-3 overall record and a dominant 5-0 mark in region play. This resurgence is particularly impressive considering the team's recent struggles. Just 3 seasons ago, they faced a tough 0-15 season, and the year after, their campaign was cut short to a 2-game series against Curtis Baptist, which they ended in a split. Gone are the players from those seasons, replaced by a fresh young squad with just 1 veteran remaining. Natalie Goff, a 1,000-point scorer and future Division II Emmanuel University Lion, brings experience and leadership to this young team. She leads the way by averaging around 16 points and 6 rebounds a game. Sophomores Marlene Mbalima and Josie Vaughn have emerged as key players in the Lady Eagles turnaround. Mbalima, a native of the Democratic Republic of Congo, has been a force in the paint, averaging 15 points and 10 rebounds this season. Mbalima has already received an offer for New Mexico State and has formed a formidable duo with freshman teammate Voldy Basana, another player from the Congo who brings additional power and athleticism to the Athens Christian front court. Vaughn, the daughter of head coach Jeff Vaughn, had a stellar freshman season, averaging an impressive 16.4 points and 3 steals per game. She continues to shine this year while averaging 16 points and 4 assists. Her ability to create her own shot and knock down open jumpers has been instrumental in the Lady Eagles' offensive success.
With his eye on every play, Sportsource analyst Avi Young captured the intensity of the Athens Christian-Elbert County matchup this past Tuesday.
Well, Athens Christian squeaks by Elbert County in a close one, 48-47. The Eagles notched their 17th win of the season in a nail-biting road game. A stark contrast to their dominant home victory over the Lady Devils earlier this season when the Lady Eagles won 72-30. Natalie Goff and Ansley Moore led the charge for Athens Christian on Tuesday. Goff led the team in scoring with 14 points, providing consistent play throughout the game. Moore impressed with 9 assists and 6 points, including a clutch late bucket that proved crucial in securing the hard-fought win. The Eagles also dominated the rebounding game, with Marlene Imbalima leading the way with 15 boards. Athens Christian has already secured more region wins this season than in the previous 3 seasons combined, a remarkable feat for a team that has leaned heavily on young talent.
Now sticking with Avi, let's talk about Athens Christian's big game tonight.
Athens Christian will be back in action later today as they travel to region opponent Rabun County for a 6 p.m. tip-off. This is a matchup of top 5 teams in the Score Atlanta rankings. The Lady Eagles enter the contest ranked 3rd in GHSA 1A Division I, while the Lady Wildcats enter as the 5th best team in their classification. Athens Christian will be trying to snap a 20-game home winning streak the Lady Wildcats enter the contest with.
The Lady Eagles defeated the Lady Wildcats earlier this season in Athens by a score of 71-57. Marlene Imbalima led the way for the Eagles by scoring 25 points and grabbing 8 rebounds, while Natalie Goff added 16 points and 6 assists.
Rabun County will rely on Western Carolina signee Lucy Hood. Hood recently achieved 500 assists in her high school career and is coming off a 24-point performance over Commerce High last Friday night.
With a mix of a young core brimming with talent and determination, as well as the senior stalwart Natalie Goff, Athens Christian has soared to new heights this season. The contributions of Imbalima, Basana, and Vaughn have been a major driving force behind their impressive regional dominance, and their continued development bodes well for the Lady Eagles' future. Back to you, Olivia.
Coming up, conspiracies, calls, and controversies. The NFL has it all. We'll unravel the mystery after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sportsource. Our investigative skills in the Sportsource newsroom are about as good as an instant replay ref. But hey, we're trying. Here to tackle the NFL conspiracy or trip and fumble it, Sportsource Micaiah Costin.
Is the NFL scripted? It didn't take long for me to find out. Students here at UGA had a lot to say about it. There's been talk that the NFL has been scripted and that people already know the outcome of the Super Bowl that's coming up on February 11 against the 49ers and Chiefs. Do you think the NFL is scripted?
I would say no. I mean, I feel like these guys are pretty tough guys. They worked really hard, met a few of them, and they seem to, I mean, they just seem like they're in it to win it. So
I do think it might be rigged because anything with entertainment kind of, you know what I'm saying, like WWE, all that stuff, you know, there's favorites to win, and like they gotta make it interesting. I don't really think it's rigged in the way that like, oh, like, you know, they can't really stop plays while it's going and like choose who the winners are, but I'm sure referees are told certain things to make it to where a team could win, you know.
Well, I think that a part of it has to be a little bit scripted, and I'm just gonna say this is that, you know, the football players are people, and people can control their outcomes, and so, you know, there's big money in the NFL, there's big money in sports betting, and I think that some of the players have more to gain by doing well or worse.
It definitely is 100%. It's basically just a media pool to get more money, I think, yeah.
Low-key, it might be rigged. I mean, like, let's be honest, the Chiefs had like a sorry offense for like the whole season, finished 3rd, lost to the Raiders in December, and now they're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know about you. I feel like a little funky, like, if you're being honest. Like,
oh, 100%. Taylor Swift just brings in all the money, and it just loses the meaning of football. Nobody cares about the Super Bowl game.
I personally do think that it's rigged, and I think we're going to see a really good example of it in the Super Bowl because the Chiefs will win because they want it to be the Taylor Swift Bowl, and then the Chiefs will win, and then he's going to propose to her, and that's exactly what they want. I can just see it happening.
So the people have spoken. Apparently, more folks than you can tackle believe the NFL might be scripted, but maybe the real script is just the chaos of the game itself. Olivia, back to you.
Thanks, Micaiah, and that's our show for this week. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. Please join us then. From the entire Sportsource crew, thank you so much for watching, and have a great weekend.